Although dried marijuana for medicinal use is regulated by Health Canada, the sale of pot-based oils by growers remains illegal. However, one woman claims that the oil saved her life. Cheryl Shuman is a cancer survivor turned medicinal marijuana advocate, and she joins us this morning to chat about the potential she sees in cannabis-based pharmaceuticals. Welcome, Cheryl. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much for having me.
So you have experience with the benefits of medical marijuana. It has not only helped you with depression and in your words, gave your kids back their mom, but you also claim that cannabis cured your ovarian cancer. Tell us about that.
I was diagnosed with ovarian cancer in 2006, and that's when I first learned about CBD extractions from cannabis oils, which is something that it took 7 years later for Dr. Sanjay Gupta to discover and explain. But CBD is actually the non-psychoactive ingredient of the plant, and that's also one of the reasons that I'm here in Canada. Health Canada is actually leading the way as far as legislation and, by legalizing federally and enabling companies to develop these medicines. When I was in Denver recently at a convention, I ran into a Canadian company here called Cannabis Technologies. And honestly, after spending time in Israel with some of the foremost endocannabinoid scientists in the world at the University of Jerusalem and Dr. Raphael Meshulam, I met a company here in Canada based actually in Vancouver that is developing and researching towards a pharmaceutical level, taking CBD-based, plant-based medicines and using these extracts and compounds to already treat glaucoma. They're working on arthritis, Huntington's disease, cancer, and all of these other amazing medicines that can be developed from cannabis on a pharmaceutical level, which is really exciting.
How did you ingest the cannabis that you claim helped cure you?
I use a lot of different methods. I use CBD-based plant medicine, but I juice it. I eat it in a raw food diet. I use it in different compounds, tinctures, concentrates, through vaping, and it works for me. It saved me from dying of cancer, and it gives me an overall better quality of life.
Now, some people might say that you're making a very bold claim by claiming it cured your cancer. We did reach out to the Canadian Cancer Society regarding the use of cannabis oil during cancer treatment, and we have a quote here from them, and I won't read all of it because it's quite long, but they say, "There is no reliable evidence to show that cannabis oil can treat or cure cancer. Health Canada has not licensed cannabis oil products as either a pharmaceutical or a natural health product." The Society goes on to say that the Society also encourages more research about the medicinal benefits of cannabis products so Canadians will have answers they need about this subject. So is that your hope, Cheryl, that there's more research that will be done?
Absolutely, and that's exactly the issue. What they're stating is true. The reason that we haven't been able to do this research and clinical studies on the effectiveness of these CBD compounds is because of legislative issues. And that's another reason why Health Canada and companies like Cannabis Technologies are leading the way. Because when we can change those laws, then we can implement full-based patient clinical trials. And it's through clinical trials and data when the medical community take it seriously and see it more as a true medicine, which it truly is.
So you live in California.
Yes.
You're here visiting. You actually operate something called the Beverly Hills Cannabis Club. Why do you feel it's important to be a part of the Canadian conversation about marijuana in pharmaceuticals?
Well, there's a division in the movement itself in the cannabis industry. You have to understand that the cannabis industry itself is moving from the criminal sector into the lawful sector. And cannabis was actually legal until the 1930s, and then given this bad reputation, it's entering legitimacy. And what we're witnessing right now is the beginning to the end of cannabis prohibition. So it's the good companies, the best of breed companies like Cannabis Technologies and what you're doing here at Health Canada, where we're all forming together now. We're finding the best of breed to form alliances and take this CBD medicine and all of these things that we're learning through research, through tremendous scientists and so forth right here in Vancouver to get to that next level. Because it's not just CBD, it's not just oil, it's not just the compounds. There are so many other chemical components of this plant that can be based in pharmaceutical type medicine for consistency, for effectiveness, and to give us all the research and the data that we need to really prove the effectiveness of this medicine.
All right, Cheryl Shuman, thanks so much for joining us this morning. And for more information, you can check out our website, ctvmorninglive.ca.